Hey, Carly, you there? Don't tell me that you're still feeling sick.
Hi, Jack. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I really just don't feel well at all. So, I'm really sorry that I wasn't able to make you any breakfast this morning.
I really can't believe you sometimes. I don't care if you're puking. I don't get what that would prevent you from doing any housework.
Wait, what? I'm not sure what you mean. It's not like I haven't been doing any work. I'm just pregnant, and I really don't feel good at all.
That's fine, but it's not like being pregnant means that you're sick or something.
No, it doesn't. But it messes with your body a lot, and can make you feel really lousy.
Well, it's still not like a disease or anything. If it was really that bad, then no one would ever do it. But people have been getting pregnant long before medicine was even invented. So it really can't be as bad as you're saying.
Jack, you really have no idea how I feel. Even just the slightest smell can set me off. And yes, I know that being pregnant is different than being sick, but I really don't think my body can tell the difference right now.
Well, there's a woman in my office named Linda, and she's pregnant and still shows up to work every single day.
But that isn't fair to compare me to someone else. Pregnancy affects everyone differently.
Well, if it's really that bad, then why don't you just go see a doctor and get some medicine?
I really don't think that I should be taking medicine in my condition.
Why do you always have to make such a big deal over everything like this? I don't think I've ever seen another pregnant person complain as much about being pregnant as you have.
Well, I am sure that there are others in the world whose pregnancies make them feel awful as I do. I mean, I even found some similar stories to mine when I was searching up my symptoms online. Besides, just how many pregnant women have you ever really known in your life, Jack?
Look, I'm just saying that when I see a pregnant woman walking around or whatever, I just know that I could do that if it were me. Just like walking around with a big backpack on your chest, basically.
Are you sure you're not getting all of this from just watching your coworker Linda? Because I'm sure that if you asked her, she would tell you that it's a lot more difficult than that.
I don't know about that. I mean, if it really were that bad, then she wouldn't be able to hide how much discomfort she was at work. I really think that you're just trying to take advantage of being pregnant. You always use it as an excuse to sleep in late and not get out of bed.
I'm not trying to sleep in or anything like that on purpose.
Look, I'm just saying I'd really like it if you tried to at least motivate yourself a bit more to do things. The least you could do is try to take better care of the house.
But I do work. I work really hard every day around the house. It's just that there are times when it gets to be too hard for me to keep working, and I need to rest.
Yeah. Well, could you at least try to complain about it a little less when you're around me? Just can't stand all the whining and complaining. It really drives me crazy.
Well, I'm really sorry to have been bothering you, Jack.
Great, then I guess I can count on you to have dinner ready for me when I get back home tonight, right? We don't need to be going to the store and wasting any money.
But we don't have any kind of meat that I could use for that in the house.
Okay, fine, then go to the store and get that at least. You're lucky you still have some time before the evening. This dinner better be good.
Jack, it really isn't a matter of giving it time before I feel better. It's just going to be like this until I give birth.
I told you that I want to eat something fried dinner, and I want you to make it. No more arguing, got it? Hey, Carly, make sure the house is absolutely spotless before I get home, okay? You've been really slacking on keeping up with your housework lately.
Jack, I really don't think that I'm going to be able to do that today. I feel so woozy that I can't even stand up. I think I'm just going to have to take a rest today.
You kidding me? Just how late are you going to be sleeping? Do you think that you can just lounge around and not have to worry about doing any kind of work ever? It feels like you hardly do anything while I'm away at work. Why am I having to come back to do dirty rooms, dirty laundry, and dirty dishes? Don't you have any pride as someone who lives here at all?
Jack, I really am sorry, but if it bothers you that much, then maybe you could help me to keep the house a little tidier. I promise that I'll have dinner ready for you, but anything more than that sounds like so much right now.
So, not only do I have to go to work and make all the money, but now you're gonna make me clean the house too? No, taking care of that kind of stuff is your job, not mine.
And I promise that I'll get back to doing all of that as soon as I feel better. But I just really don't think I'm going to be able to do that right now.
I can't believe you. You really are pathetic, you know that? All you ever do is make up excuses so that you can laze around the house. It really just makes me sick. Even just looking at you upsets me.
You know that I'm not doing this because I'm lazy. I'm doing this because I feel awful. I know for a fact that I've already talked to you about what it's like to be pregnant. I thought that as my husband, you would be a little more eager to support me through this.
So now you're gonna try and spin this back on me. I'm the one who's most bothered by this. I mean, if a wife can't even do the bare minimum, then what good is she at all? Unless you thought that you could get away with being a lazy, good-for-nothing housewife by getting pregnant.
How can you say that?
Well, it's hard to see this as anything else, the way you're complaining. I mean, I thought that morning sickness was only supposed to happen at the start of a pregnancy, but you're still always complaining about feeling ill. How do I know you're not pretending to be sick?
Of course I'm not doing anything like that. What are you talking about?
I think you're just pretending so that I'll feel bad for you. It's honestly just pathetic.
You can't really think that I'm doing something like that, right?
What I think is that when I get home, the whole place better be spotless and dinner better be on the table. I don't want to hear any more excuses or I'm sorry. Just get it done. Now, I have to think about some things, so don't bother me.
What kind of things do you have to think about?
I have to think about if I can really stand living with you for much longer. To be honest, I don't really feel like being with a woman who can't take care of herself. You either need to earn your keep or we're through. You have no idea how badly I wanted to throw you out the house at times. I've seen it left the same way it was when I went to work that morning. Carly, I thought you were feeling bad. Why aren't you at home? And why is the house still a mess? Why has nothing been done at all since I left? I knew that you were lying about your pregnancy making you feel bad.
If you're asking about Carly, I'm afraid that she's in the hospital.
What? The hospital?
That's right. She was having some worry about her pregnancy and called me so that I could take her to the hospital. Now my dad and I are on our way to beat you up, so brace yourself.
Wait, what the heck? Just who am I talking to right now, huh?
This would be your mother, Jack.
Mom? Is it my room? I don't get it. What's going on here?
That's right, Jack, your mom. And I'm the one who wants to know what's going on. By the time I got to your house, Carly was collapsed on the floor and could hardly move.
I didn't know that. She never told me that happened.
Well, you told her to leave you alone, didn't you?
Well, sure, but if she was going to the hospital, then obviously I'd want to know about that.
You do realize that you're the one who pushed your wife into this state, right? She told me all about how you've been treating her at home and the things you've been messaging her. It's all your fault that she's in the hospital.
But I didn't even do anything to her. That's not fair.
You didn't do anything to her? Because from what I can tell, she complained to you several times about feeling ill, and yet you continue to insist that she take care of the house.
But I just thought she was over-exaggerating things, is all.
And that's why you forced your pregnant wife to work around the house all the time. Is that the best excuse you can come up with?
But the pregnant lady at my work still shows up to do her job.
Well, pregnancy affects different people in different ways, Jack. Besides, just because it looked like she's able to work like everyone else, doesn't mean that you know how she's feeling internally.
But she's still able to keep her composure in front of everyone.
That's because she's in an office where she is paid to be professional. But you were just trying to make your wife do all of this as if it was a matter of course. Is Carly your wife or your employee?
Of course she's not my employee, Mom.
Well, I sure couldn't tell that just from looking. Instead, all you did was get upset when Carly would tell you that she wasn't feeling well. Your wife is open about how she's feeling with you, and you just take it to mean she's complaining.
Well, that's because I go to work every single day. I'm busy and tired and feel bad all the time.
Of course you do. Nobody likes going to work. But just whose child do you think it is that Carly is pregnant with, huh? You realize that that's your kid inside of her that she's taking care of, right?
I know that, Mom. I always want to put it in there. I know how babies work.
You clearly don't know anything. If you really did, you wouldn't have been acting like this. Did you know that Carly has been losing weight? The doctors think it's really negatively impacting the pregnancy.
But she's just losing weight from the morning sickness, right?
You do realize that most women struggle to keep weight off during a pregnancy, right? Although Carly was vomiting so much, the doctors found she was severely dehydrated. In a worst-case scenario, this could have really affected the fetus.
Wait, really? I didn't know any of that.
Well, you put not only your wife, but your unborn child in serious danger. I don't think that it can ever forgive you for what you've done, and your father feels the same way. That's why we're headed over to your house right now. We are going to beat you black and blue.
Wait, you can't! I'll go and see Kai in the hospital right now!
She said that she doesn't want you coming anywhere near her. And we intend to make sure she has her wish come true. You are not going to even pass a message along to her. You're just going to have to live with what you've done.
Hey, Carly. I just wanted to let you know that I'm off work. I was wondering if I could visit you in the hospital on the way home. I haven't seen you in so long.
That is going to be a no. I don't want to see you right now, Jack.
I know, my mum and dad came over and really laid into me. But now I finally understand how hard it is to be pregnant. My mum told me all about how horrible it was for her while she was pregnant with me.
Well, I'm glad that you learned something from all of this.
That's right, I really did. And I promise that I'm going to treat you much better from here on out. By the way, do you know when you're going to be getting out of the hospital? I'll take care of all the housework, so you don't have to worry about any of that.
I'm afraid that I won't be coming home to you ever again.
What do you mean by that?
I'm sure that your mom told you, right? I want to get a divorce.
Well, she told me that, but you only said that in the passion of the moment, right? You were just upset having to go to the hospital, and that's why you said that, right?
No, I meant what I said when I said it, and I still do.
But it's already been a week! Surely you've forgotten me by now?
And why do you think I would've? I've been pregnant for months, and you haven't shown a shed of sympathy for me. I really just can't see myself living with you any longer.
But I'm telling you that I've changed. And I'm so sorry for all the horrible things that I said before. I was just being a stupid man who didn't know what he was talking about.
It's not just about the pregnancy. It's the fact that I felt like I could go to you with these issues and instead you just used them against me. I even tried explaining to you just how hard it was to be pregnant, but you weren't having a word of it.
I know, Carly, and I really am sorry about that. I should have been more understanding. You're literally about to bring a life into the world, and that's no small feat, and I realize that now.
Well, I'm glad you do, but it's far too late to change my mind about this now. You've already done too much to hurt me.
Please don't be like that, Carly. I thought that we were gonna raise this kid together. You're not gonna try and do it on your own, are you?
I've already thought about that before I thought to divorce you. It won't be easy, but I'm ready to raise this child on my own.
But what about me? I'm still that baby's father.
I don't need my baby to have a father if he's only going to cause trouble. Besides, I've already talked to my work and explained to them that I'd like to come back after I have this child. They wanted me back so badly that they agreed to give me a raise that should cover the expenses for the both of us.
Please, Carly, you have to believe that I've changed. I really only want to be there for you and our baby from now on. Please don't leave me like this.
I thought you told me that if I didn't do my fair share of the work, that you would have no problem kicking me to the curb, remember?
I know I said that, but I didn't really mean it.
So then you were just saying it to threaten me into doing what you wanted?
It's not like that either!
I'm so sure that it's not. All you did was belittle my complaints and make me feel like a baby. Not to mention the fact that you still made me do all of this work while I was pregnant. Do you really think that I could raise a kid with someone who thinks like that? I can't see you ever having the patience to be a good father to our child.
Don't say things like that, Carly.
If you think things are hard now, wait until our baby is born. We'd be losing sleep, having to take it to the doctor all the time, and I just can't really see myself counting on you for anything.
But I promise I've changed. I'll be there for you and the baby from here on out. Won't you believe me? I really have changed.
Maybe you really have changed, and you are a different person now. But that doesn't change the fact of what I went through while being with you, and I still carry those scars and the hurt inside of me. I don't owe you a second chance after how you treated me.
Please, Carly, I'm so sorry for everything.
Apologize all you want, I'm still not going to forgive you. In fact, once I leave the hospital, I'm going to hire a lawyer to help with the divorce.
Please don't do this, Carly. I really do want this kid with you. I promise to raise it right. You can't just leave me like this.
I'm not walking away from you, Jack. You only now realized how far you've pushed me away, and it's too late to undo that now. You could have been there when I needed you most, and you weren't.
But I don't know what I'm supposed to do without you.
After I left the hospital, I stayed true to my word and found a good divorce lawyer who helped with the whole process. Jack was kicking and screaming the whole time, but with the help of his parents, he finally came around and signed the divorce papers. To be honest, I was rather surprised at how strong Jack's reaction to me divorcing him was. I really didn't think that he even loved me all that much by the time I was hospitalized. I didn't expect him to fight the divorce so much. I even heard he was so upset that he had to take a break from working. Meanwhile, I began to feel much better now that I was out of such a stressful environment, and even managed to go back to work for a few months before I gave birth. Now, I'm taking maternity leave and receiving child support checks from Jack. I still keep in touch with his parents, but I told them that I don't want to hear any news about how Jack is doing at all, and they respect that. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Insulation, mother-in-law. What? I can't take it anymore. I'll insulate you no matter what anyone says. Rebecca? Rebecca, what's wrong? I can't believe they're just going to insulate us without warning. I want a full explanation. You think I don't remember? After everything you've done? I'm sorry, but I really don't remember. If it was really my fault, I would apologize. I just need you to calm down and talk to me. Mother-in-law, you've been in my house without my permission. What? There's no point in playing dumb. The leftover dishes I made for you have been reduced, and the beer that was supposed to be chilled for the evening has been drunk without my permission. I don't know when you made a duplicate key to my house, but this is proof you have been coming in without permission during the day when I'm at work. Well, I'm working during the day too. You're probably just a part-timer, right? No, I'm a full-time employee. But I'm sure someone has been in here during the day. It's usually mother-in-law who does this. That means they are just making a fuss without any proof. Even if the market is fixed, there may be cases where it is not. No need to make excuses. I will never give in to a wife-snoring mother-in-law. What do you mean by wife snoring? You know what? I've been rejected by you for my usual interactions with you. I'm not going to go out of my way to bully Rebecca when she refuses to interact with me on a regular basis. How's that? Well, I've already changed the locks on the house so you can't use the duplicate key that you made without my permission. Now, you'll never be able to get in anymore. I'm sorry for your loss. So I'm declaring my insulation. Goodbye forever. Mom, I'm sorry about Rebecca yesterday. She made some terrible accusations. Oh, Joey. Rebecca, what's going on? I mean, we've always been estranged and she's never been anything but a wife beater. Yeah, I know. You're not, and I know you're not. But the thing about the leftovers running low and the chilled beer disappearing, that's actually happening. I'm almost certain that someone has been in the house. It wasn't me. I know. Mom's at work during the day in the department that specializes in inside work, right? Rebecca's made up her mind to ignore Mom's alibi entirely. There's no way she could be at her house during the day. If Joey knows what he's talking about, then forget it. We won't be seeing each other for a while anyway due to the physical distance. Oh, I see. That's right. I'm kind of flabbergasted right now, so I'll just have to think about the future when the time is right. Well, if that's okay with Mom. Hey, stepmom. I thought things were finally at peace after the installation 3 months ago. You made a duplicate key without permission again. When did you? Rebecca! You haven't called me in 3 months and now you're saying crazy things again. What's so funny? I'm sure you're going to tell me again that you were at work during the day and you didn't come over to my house without permission. But it doesn't work that way. It was you, mother-in-law, who stole my ring, wasn't it? Why are you assuming? Because I have proof. Proof? I searched your house and I found your ring in the cabinet. From my house? Because I also took pictures to prove it. That's funny. What is? I'm saying I found proof, okay? Proof that you, mother-in-law, is a thief. And that's your reply? Isn't that more strange? Don't tell me you think you can get away with it now. Well, no matter what I say, mother-in-law's guilt is confirmed. I will report this to Joey, won't I? Joey, where are you now? Huh? I'm on a business trip today. Rebecca, she's acting crazy again. Are you okay? Rebecca? She said something about me stealing Rebecca's ring. She went up to my place without permission, searched my house, and that's where she found the ring or something like that. Huh? What the hell is that? I don't know what's going over there. Do you have any idea? Yeah. You have? Actually, I haven't told Rebecca where my mom is or what kind of work she's doing. Oh, why? Well, I tried to tell her, okay? But as soon as I brought up the subject of Mom, she said, you know, me and your mother-in-law broke up, and she got so angry that it got out of hand, so I couldn't tell her. I didn't know that. Can I keep this case? Yes, you can. That's what I was trying to tell you. Okay, give me a minute. Thanks for your time. Stepmother, you've been running around without me seeing you since then. I think it's time you gave up. Well, I'm not an ogre either. The ring is back in my possession and I'm willing to forgive you under certain conditions. Rebecca, are you still talking like that? Because mother-in-law is a thief. And what are the conditions for forgiving a thief? You must surrender mother-in-law's house to me and Joey. And you and Joey must break off your parent-child relationship and move far away. No, I've been overseas for the past 3 months. What? I've been called in to do some technical training for the overseas branch of the company I work for, and I'm going to be posted to Australia for a couple of years. Huh? You're not in the US right now? No, I'm not. It's been 3 months since I got the assignment, and I've been so busy that I haven't been able to go back to the States once. And I've been living in that house by myself since 5 years ago when my husband passed away. Now it's been 3 months since I've lived away from home, and I'm wondering why you let me into the house. What did you want the other day on text? You thought I had stolen your ring, so you came into my house to look for it and found it. You want to explain what's going on, don't you? I've asked my aunt, who is a landlord, to take care of my house when I'm away. What? Landlord? That house is a rental? In other words, Rebecca thought she owned the house. Yes. I'm not home, but I'm still renting. I didn't want to give up my familiar home, and it's difficult to manage the furniture while I'm away. My aunt also offered me half the rent for the next 2 years until I returned. You and my aunt didn't know each other at all, did you? So can you explain to me how you were able to move in? Can you explain that to me? I borrowed a duplicate key from Joey. The duplicate key that you gave her was supposed to be in my aunt's possession by now for security reasons. I don't know. Did she make the duplicate key without my permission while I was in the US? Yes. I'll have to talk to my aunt and have her change the locks. Miss Stepmother? I'm leaving this with Joey. You can talk to him about it. Stepmother, please convince Joey to stay away from the divorce. I'll let bygones be bygones. What? That was Rebecca's own doing, wasn't it? What do you mean, let bygones be bygones? What? I don't understand the nerve of you asking me, Joey's mother, for help. I heard you were having an affair. You already know all that? Of course I know. I'm a party to this. Your affair started 6 months ago. It started with the fact that you liked and wanted my stylish-looking house. At first, I was going to wait patiently, thinking that it would be eventually belong to Joey, my eldest son. I started dreaming of making out with my fling in my favorite house. I wanted to get it as soon as possible, right? Because that house was the home of my dreams. So you were going to rob me of my home. For starters, I was going to go into Rebecca and Joey's house without permission. I'd make a fuss about them running out of leftover food and cold beer. I'd blame it on me, when in fact it was the affair partners who had brought them into the house to eat and drink. And they know that too? I was still in the US at that time. 3 months later, Operation Number 2. They made a fuss about your ring coming out of my house and framed me for the theft of the ring. I was going to tell you to give me the house instead of forgiving you, because at this point he didn't know that I was an overseas assignment and that I was renting. No way, I screwed up. That's how it goes, right? Well, the plan is so sloppy that I can't even look at it, right? You don't have to say that. Well, that's enough then. You're divorced from Joey, so you're a complete stranger to me. I'd like you to be grateful that we're still texting like this. How are you going to convince him to avoid divorce? I asked you, mother-in-law, to do it, so you have to do it. I don't remember undertaking this, and I am no longer your mother-in-law. Stepmother, don't contact me anymore. The son was aware of Rebecca's affair even before the false accusation of thievery. He suspected a connection to this disturbance, so he requested an investigation by a credit agency. And the results came out. Rebecca was completely black. I immediately filed for alimony for the affair and for my mother-in-law treating me like a thief, and the divorce was finalized. Rebecca seems to have returned to her parents' house, but they would not let her cross the threshold. She was hired as a live-in worker at a factory in the next town over. The factory manager, who was a womanizer, offered her money if she did what he said. In the end, his wife found out and she had to pay more compensation. She was fired from his job, and now that she was saddled with a large amount of debt, she quickly took a job working in the bubbles.